Hello and welcome back to the Formula 1 chat. Today we are here from Monaco Grand Prix Preview. We'll be discussing all the things about Monaco and looking back at last round, of course. Well, Imola, not really around, is it? So, yeah, we'll probably talk about a bit about Miami. Not the most exciting race, was it?
No, I mean, it's 3 weeks ago now as we're going into the Australia weekend, so it's a bit hard to take anything from it. I mean, it's as well two very different tracks. I mean, they're both street circuits, I guess, but Monaco's a lot closer.
That's the only similarity they have. A lot of differences between Miami and Monaco. Of course, we have had some upgrades for certain teams since Miami as well that are supposed to come for Imola. Unfortunately, though, Imola, of course, not a race. If you want to know why, then check out a video from last week, though. I mean, most people presumably know by this point, but yeah, it's a shame we didn't have any racing in Imola, but we are back now with Monaco. It's a difficult circuit, Monaco, isn't it?
It is very challenging, as we know there's quite a few drivers that have got these ultimatums or, kind of have their probably their seats on the line. And this is the kind of circuit, where you don't want to crash. Because if you're one of those drivers under pressure, and if you put it in a wall in Monaco...
It's probably the only place you can put in a wall and not get minced for it by your team. It depends on how you crash.
I know, just keeping it out of the walls proves a lot in terms of your driving ability.
Yeah, and that does worry me for De Vries. Obviously, we know he's had that 3-race ultimatum. We don't know whether Imola's going to count. Is helmet marker going to go, well, unlucky?
I doubt it.
I don't know, though, because if it's time dependent, if they want to bring someone in for a specific round, for Canada, for example, then they're going to have to just say, well, you've got 2 rounds now to prove yourself. Unlucky.
Yeah, and I guess Red Bull are that cutthroat. But yeah, a lot of drivers will want a good weekend here. You spoke about those upgrades. Whether they'll make a big difference, we don't know. Because you said they're meant to come on for Imola. So, they were probably upgrades that would make a car quicker around Imola. Yeah. And as we know, Imola and Monaco, very different circuits.
We know the team obviously with the most, or the biggest upgrade in performance is Mercedes. They were expecting to have a lot more performance in Imola. I think they'll have a quicker car, but does that have much of an impact around Monaco? Well, they might gain a bit on the straights, but ultimately probably not.
I mean, it could throw a curveball in there. You look back to last year's Monaco Grand Prix, it was Red Bulls versus Ferraris. If you put a quick Mercedes in there, you've got 6 drivers going for the win.
Yeah, I do think Monaco doesn't breed great racing, especially given the size of the current cars. Now, we spoke about this after, well, actually in our Imola preview, which didn't go out, so we can speak about it now. The size of the cars is a massive problem, and Monaco, of course, is such a small and narrow circuit, so tight, the corners, you can barely get 1 car through them, let alone 2 cars side by side. So I think given the current size of the cars, Monaco isn't a great track for Formula 1.
But also, because of that, we don't get any racing, no side-by-side actions. There's no incidents. If there's a crash, it's because someone bins it by themselves.
But it is unique, isn't it, Monaco? There is so much reliance on qualifying to be good, to
Monaco
be perfect.
Is so good. And you look at the last 2 years...
But the spectacle's good, the racing isn't.
Yeah, you look at the last 2 years, though. We've had a close fight in 2021 where the pole sitter then put it in the wall and then couldn't race on the Sunday. Yeah. And then we saw in 2022 where the pole sitter spun and put it in a wall and then had pole for the Sunday and didn't win the race. So
maybe we're in for chaos. Maybe every other round has been boring, so Monaco would be great.
The last 2 years,
somehow.
People say on the Saturday Matters, the last 2 years, the pole sitter has crashed in Q3, red flagged the session, got pole, and then not won the race.
Yeah, well, Leclerc didn't start, and who's got pole the year before?
Perez. Or did he?
This year.
He did win the race, didn't he?
Yeah, and he didn't take pole, did he?
He did, because he spun, didn't he?
I thought he just got second. I think it's Leclerc on pole or something like that. Might have been. Should we have a look?
I thought he might.
That was going to be the next point.
Max
look back at last year's race.
Corner, and Sainz who decided to spin next to Perez because he fancied it.
But that obviously gave Perez a nicer grid position than he would have got had everyone finished their laps. So,
I think it's going to be interesting. To see how it goes. I think the action will come towards the back of the grid. You've got only 2 drivers this year haven't driven Monaco before, I believe, in Sargent and De Vries. Obviously, Sargent's driven it in Formula 2. De Vries... Would he have driven it in Formula 2? I think so.
If not, he has driven it in Formula E.
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
Well, maybe. It might be De Vries' weekend.
Just looking back at Monaco from last year then... I can see. How do I see qualify? Our race result. There we go. Qualifying. It was Charles Leclerc on pole to Carlos Sainz second, Perez third, Verstappen fourth.
And Ferrari still threw it away.
Yeah.
So there's nothing. If it rains like it did last year, we can see a bit more strategy come into it. I
mean, strategy still has a massive impact because even if you look back at Daniel Ricciardo's loss of a win in 2017, 2018,
he had a loss of power.
Well, yeah, no, that was not the pit stop. Pit stop problem obviously cost him the win.
Oh yeah, he also won. He won 1 year where he's leading.
The year after that, he won it.
But wasn't that... he defended with no power, didn't he? And he still won it, and it was Redemption Day.
I think it was Redemption Day for Daniel Ricciardo the first time round.
Love that, man.
I think, that was where he obviously threw it away. So we have had incidents over the years. Bottas, 2021, couldn't get his tyre off.
That pit lane last year, Ferrari double stacked and threw away the race.
The pit lane's a problem. It's very tight.
Monaco just causes people to crack.
Okay, because it's tiny. There's no space. Especially given the size of the cars now, you can barely get them in the pits.
It's going to be interesting. It's going to be really interesting to see what happens. We've seen Lando Norris on the podium. Maybe McLaren could bounce back. It's going to be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we're in for a better race than we were in for the last 2 years.
Hopefully so. But yeah. What else is there to discuss before I forget how we usually do this. It's been a couple of weeks now since Miami.
Usually we have a race to look back on.
Yeah,
from
exactly.
Last week,
Well, I look back at Miami is a bit points out so long ago, but Max did look quick, didn't he?
Yeah, I think Miami, Red Bull's absolutely pissed out the wall.
I mean, my notes say a look back at Miami, Max preview's quick, nothing happened.
Yeah.
But there was the most overtakes of the season so far.
I think that could be exactly the same in Monaco. Max is quick, nothing happened.
Potentially so. So what to expect from Monaco?
Tough race.
It is a race of attrition.
And I look at De Vries and Sargent and Piastri. Piastri not so much, but Sargent and De Vries have really struggled this. Well, not struggled. Well, Sargent hasn't struggled. Yeah, they have struggled.
But even just like Zhou,
especially in Miami,
are a little bit.
Sargent and De Vries really struggled in Miami. Monaco is not the racetrack you want to be coming to when you're out of form and you're very error prone, especially in the eyes of Nick De Vries.
I have zero justification for this, but I'm optimistic we're going to get a good Grand Prix. I cannot explain that.
I hope so.
I have a feeling we're going to have, I don't know, maybe the Alpines try and run side by side.
Yeah.
And that goes to shit. Maybe the Mercedes actually. Will we actually see some overtakes? I think maybe we will.
If we take our minds back to last year as well, that was a semi-interesting race, but most of it was under. We started the race under safety car. We didn't get a race. We didn't get a start off the lights. Could that throw a curveball? Could someone be punted into? Of course, because if Nick De Vries does what he did to Lando Norris in Miami, where he went into the back off the start, Lando Norris collects another 2 drivers and they're all into the wall at Sandoval.
Yeah, my biggest hope is that they have chosen to go, that Pirelli choose to go for the softest compounds. Because so far this season, everything's just been an easy, medium hard Bosch, or soft hard to the end, lovely. But I would love to see it where actually they've got to go soft, medium, soft.
Yeah.
And that be a strategy option. Because if there's a difference in strategy, there could be some... That could create some intrigue, some interest, a little bit of drama. But if there isn't,
even on different ideas,
but because you could have a soft, medium, soft be as competitive as a medium hard. It hasn't been so far this year because that cost of a pit stop is so much higher than the cost of tyre wear. I mean, we've not seen anyone struggle on tyres like we have in the past. So I'd love to see a bit of that.
Other point would be, I feel like quali could be red flag central. Which obviously then means we have the opportunity to get a jumbled grid. And if you've got fast cars cutting through at Monaco, it's either going to be a very exciting race because you're going to see these, the Ferraris, Red Bulls, Mercs, or whoever else cutting through, making brilliant overtakes.
Trying to, at least, yeah.
Or they're going to crash, and then we get a crash.
I think we could be in for a very exciting Grand Prix. I'm hoping. The last few years at Monaco have been problematic because they're not. Monaco hasn't provided the spectacle that it should. No. Do you think Monaco deserves to stay on the grid?
Yes.
Why?
It's iconic. It's the gem on the Formula 1 calendar.
It is, but if nothing changes in terms of the cars or the circuit, I mean, I wouldn't change the circuit, so I'm not suggesting that for a moment, but I think unless something changes, we are just going to be set for more boring Monaco Grand Prix.
As a Formula 1 driver, that is the one racetrack you look and go, I'd love to win.
But I am excited for F2 and F3. Because I think they're both going to provide great races. Mate, F3, they're going to be like on top of each other.
How are they going to fit 30 cars through that?
They won't.
It's not going to work.
Also, they can because they're smaller. They can fit 30. You can fit 30 F3 cars in a lot smaller space than you can fit 20.
My only worry is with the feeder series, not so much Formula 2, but because they're better drivers, but they only have an allotted race time. So
you just don't think we'll get there?
Yeah, that's my thing. They only get allotted race time because of the other events going on that day. My worry is if there are so many there's so many red flags and safety cars, we can see about 5 minutes of actual racing.
Yeah, but it'll be mad.
It would be pretty cool if we do have safety car restart and every single time someone's in a wall.
Just pure chaos.
It is going to be carnage.
I think they'll surely think about that though. They'll surely give more allotted time to F3 and F2. Start them a little earlier. Yeah. Give them more of a gap. Surely, if anyone's got any thought for
they can. We don't need. Does it really need like a 4-hour break between the end of Formula 3 and F1?
Well, you need to fit F2 in.
Oh,
and you need to fit in the driver's parade and then the hour on the grid before the race. That's the thing. But if you start F2 an hour, half an hour earlier than you normally do, then we have got
start
that
at
F3
7
earlier.
In the morning,
F2
give them an hour and a half. Then start F3 and start F2 at 9. Give them an hour and a half. You're done by 10:30.
At last 10, and then
I guess you'll do the podium to the race, haven't you? So maybe you'd be done by 12, and the race starts.
How have you just added 2 hours for podiums?
Long podiums, the ages. Okay.
Also, Monaco's at 1, isn't it?
Oh that's why they can't do it, isn't it? Because they start at 7. Yeah, no. I think it's going to be a good race.
Monaco's a 2 o'clock start.
I think it's going to be a really good race.
Have the track.
I'm calling it now. We're going to have a good weekend.
I would love to believe you.
I do believe you.
I'm optimistic as well, but I don't know. I just don't...
Right.
I don't know. I think F2 and F3 will be good, though.
Alright.
So maybe we'll just review them on Monday. If nothing happens, you will see a video talking about why Ollie Behrman's the greatest driver ever. Obviously, when he wins all... Yeah.
Or if Logan Sargent wins, it's going to be why he should...
Wait, if Logan Sargent wins, I don't know what I'm going to do. It's going to be a mental review.
I'll get drunk.
The review's going to be insane. On Sunday night, we're just sat here trying to review it. You're drunk and I'm just sad.
Why are you sad if Logan Sargent won?
Because you'd be drunk.
I'd love for Logan Sargent to win.
Anyway, should we get into predictions?
Yes.
If you put Sargent to win, I will make you leave.
Put him on the podium, though. No.
God's sake. No. Shall we start, as we always do, with the Saturday session? The pole position award. Who do you think... Award? Who's taking pole?
This is easy for me. It's his home Grand Prix. He's very good one-lap pace.
Right. I was trying to think of the fuck was Monaco. Ask Leclerc.
Very good one-lap pace. We've seen, he's taken pole. He looked good around Baku. He took pole there, and he's got a history of taking pole here in Monaco. He'd do it again. Charles Leclerc will start on pole for Sunday's Grand Prix. Yeah,
he started on pole here the last 2 race years. Of course, he couldn't start in 2021 due to a gearbox problem, and last year he Ferrari bottled hard. I've gone a slight curveball here. I'm going Sergio Perez.
Why's that curveball? He's quick around street circuits. He is the king of street circuits.
Yeah, but I think most people would be going Max or Charles. If people think, if you're thinking along at home and you're typing out your predictions, I reckon you're thinking Verstappen or Leclerc. But I'm going to go Perez. I think he's looked really good in recent rounds. I think he's got a point to prove, and I think if there's one thing we're seeing from this season, it's that Verstappen keeps getting cocked in quali. So I think on his first lap in Q3, a bird will get in his gearbox. A bird will get in his exhaust. He'll set it on fire, cook chicken. And then I think...
Cooked chicken, it's the bird.
Cooked bird. Cooked a little bit of pigeon.
Right.
No, I don't know. I think he'll get spooked in the first lap. Poor lap. Right. Second lap, red flag.
Okay.
How's that happened? Oh, Perez has gone down the Rosberg escape road. Rosberg's there. Beckoning him down it slowly.
Okay, alright.
But yes, and then Perez, red flag, he gets pole. First DNF of the race. Is he a Dutchman who drives an AlphaTauri?
Yeah, I feel bad for putting it, but yeah, he is. I've got Nick de Vries. I just don't see him keeping out the barriers.
Same here.
If you can't keep out the barriers at Baku, how would you plan on keeping out the barriers?
I think he'll Mahavir Raghunathan it through turn 1.
I don't think he'll
do that. When he just cut the whole corner and take out 2 drivers with him.
He's not a bad driver in it, de Vries. He really is.
I think he's not made a mistake yet, though, that's cost anyone else. And I think this will be the first weekend. Every other, I guess you could say the one who barreled into the back of Lando.
I think he'll hit Yuki.
No, if he hits Yuki, I'll hit him. We protect Yuki Tsunoda.
Absolutely mental. I'm gonna say
that is one radio call I want to hear. I've gone to race as well.
Raskas.
Ooh. I don't know, man. I'm gonna go. I was gonna say the what's it called? The Casino Square, but
he could go straight on at the wall of the hairpin and just block the whole track.
Imagine. No one could go anywhere because he's just there. I think turn 1, and he'll put someone in the barrier.
He's on the inside.
Sam Bird style. Yeah. And then they red flag because no one can get through turn 1.
Yeah, alright. Carlos go through the pit lane.
Yeah, exactly. Cheeky little safety car then, and then they all go through the pit lane.
They'd probably red flag it if the whole of the track was covered.
Yeah, because the
pit lane's there.
Debris.
The pit lane exits at turn 1.
There's loads of debris.
Yeah. Alright.
From debris.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I feel bad, but I just don't think he'll be able to keep out the barriers.
Fair enough. Anyway, I think this the fast lap will go to Checo Perez. I think he'll probably set a fast lap early in the race, and then chaos ensues with the De Vries incident.
I am going to go Charles Leclerc for fastest lap.
Okay.
I think he'll have a quick lap.
I mean, on pole, we've both gone for our pole sitters.
Yeah.
Is your winner also coming from Monaco?
No, he's not.
Oh, so Leclerc's bottling.
Yeah, he is bottling.
Well, he's probably not. It's probably Ferrari's fault, isn't it?
I think they'll get strategy. I don't think they'll go for a wrong strategy. I don't think it'll be a slow pits or something.
What are they going to do?
I just think Red Bull will do something better.
What could Red Bull possibly do?
I don't know. Hannah Schmitz will come up with something different.
But then Ferrari's strategy would be bad.
Yeah, okay, yeah, maybe they are.
Red Bull Ferrari's strategy isn't bad because Red Bull's isn't bad because Red Bull's is meh. Ferrari's strategy is bad because Red Bull's is good.
I think Red Bull go nail it. I think they'll nail it with the pit stops, nail it with the strategy, and because I think the top 4 or even the top 8 could be close.
Yeah.
I think shout out if it rains, watch Lance Stroll. If it doesn't, watch Fernando Alonso.
Okay. I'll get on my Sky pad and I'll watch one driver.
Aston Martin could be a shout here for something.
Really?
I think they'd be right up there.
I couldn't have guessed that from the fact you've just shouted, watch Lance Stroll, watch Alonso.
Norris. He's taken the podium here in Monaco before. I think you've got to be careful.
I'm going to go, I think Daniel Ricciardo could be a rogue shout.
He's won it, he's
done one here before. Who could surprise? I don't know who would be a surprise package. That's not one of our predictions.
I've gone race winner. Max Verstappen.
I thought it was going to be Lance Stroll after all that banging on about him.
I think they'll just nail it. They'll jump Leclerc through the pit stops through the strategy. And he'll just win by canter from there.
If I'll do a surprise one since you're throwing out like 9 surprises there. I think Alexander Albon will score points.
Ooh.
Because he's qualified well this season. And if it's a circuit, when Alonso just backed up like everyone, like last year,
tell you what,
Albon will be sat P7,
I'm going to tell you,
and just park it.
And because of that, I'm going to take to raise it and go Williams double points.
I could say double podium. Max, Albon, Logan, scenes. As for my winner, I've also gone Max Verstappen. I think he'll profit from De Vries' debris.
Now, isn't it?
And I think that, either Checo will have a slow stop and Max will overtake him, or Checo will pit before a safety car incident. Safety car comes out, Max benefits, Max ahead. Potentially Ferrari's also jumping.
I think this season's literally...
Do you think, though, Mercedes could be up there as well this weekend? New package.
Look at that Red Bull.
But I think they could outperform Ferrari. But we've both said Ferrari will be up.
I think this Monaco for me is Leclerc good 1 lap pace, Red Bull goes brr, win.
Okay. I think if I was going to say a rough top 6, it would be Red Bull's Mercedes, Alonso, Leclerc. In any order. Not in any order. It's not going to be Russell, is it? But
I don't think
maybe
Russell
it is.
No points for George. No points for George. Bottas though. No tyre.
No tyres for George. Mercedes didn't pack enough. Yeah, fair enough. Some interesting predictions there. If you have enjoyed, make sure to leave a like and, of course, keep the conversation going in the comments below. We want to hear from you guys. What are your predictions? What are your thoughts on our predictions? I love also the random questions we get, or someone laughing at any sentence we say during the video.
Probably quite a lot.
We say so much random stuff. But yeah, that's all from us today. Thank you all very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.
See ya.